This was awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome everyone back to another episode of High Low News, where we love to interview dope people in the community and doing great things. Today, I am so excited to have Bill Talbert, President and CEO of the Greater Miami Conventions and Visitors Bureau, or GMCVB for short, if you don't want to get tied up with it. But Bill, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for the invitation, and I'm pleased to be waiving my usual fee to do this for Janie.
Hey, we appreciate that. We really appreciate that.
Because I know I heard you have a big following.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm so glad. I've heard of you, and I've met you a few times at different events. So it's really good to have you on. And recently, you guys did a press conference about the impact of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have you on to kind of talk about that a little bit, because a lot of people it was a lot of chatter going on with it, good, bad, but I think this.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's
good.
all good. And the good news is it was February 2nd, 2020, before March and April and May. And so we kind of had it basically a month before the pandemic really hit. And I've been involved with Super Bowls for 30 years. I know I don't look like it, but I can tell you. Yeah, thank you. I knew I liked you already. But yeah, I can tell you, this is the finest Super Bowl we've ever had. And it's also the finest Super Bowl the National Football League ever had.
Wow.
They had, now, by the way, this was Greater Miami's, Miami-Dade County, Greater Miami's 11th Super Bowl. No city has had 11.
Wow.
We're back to number one. But one of the things we did, and some of that was a criticism from the NFL folks. You folks are complacent in Miami. You had all of these. Well, we have had great events, and we do great events very well. So what we did, I'm on the host committee for the Super Bowl. We said, we're going to treat this like our first Super Bowl, like our first. And I can tell you, it was the best reception at the airports, in and out. I can tell you, having been to the previous Super Bowls, there was a disconnect between the airport and the community and the Super Bowl. But here, we have all partners. And so when you got off the plane, say in MIA, Miami International Airport, you knew you were in a Super Bowl city. 2 new things, 3 new things, lots of new things. Kudos to Stephen Ross. You know, we have a brand new stadium. If Mr. Ross hadn't made that investment, you know, we would not have had this game, period. Now, it had been 10 years since we had our last game.
Wow.
It was 2010. We kind of forget this, but it was 2010. And because of no stadium improvements, lots of them happening around the country, 10 full years. So that's number one. Thank you, Mr. Ross, for your private investment. And number 2, kudos to Miami-Dade County, City of Miami Beach, and the hoteliers on Miami Beach. We have a basically new reimagined Miami Beach Convention Center. So for the first time in a long time, the media center was at the Miami Beach Convention Center, and then also what's known as the NFL experience. I know you got some young folks tuned in here, and so that was in the convention center. And I can tell you, it was the finest media center they've ever been in, and the NFL experience was wonderful. And a new reimagined Miami Beach Convention Center because of public and private investments, and lots of art in it, lots of art, $7 million of art in that building.
Oh, wow.
A 6-acre public park across the street of the Miami Beach Convention Center. It used to be a parking lot with no trees. Now they have 500 trees. So that was all open. So we had that whole district. So the NFL wanted to partner with communities and how can we give back to the community? So they have created a few years back was called Super Bowl Live. Well, for the first time in Super Bowl history, NFL Live was on the water. The park downtown, Bayfront Park in the city of Miami, and that park was converted to a totally open, totally available, interactive, free to the community with events and concerts, and it was open all week. And that's a partnership between the NFL and the local community, and that's one of the ways to give back. And I can tell you, the NFL can't wait till they come back. They used to have cities compete, and so now what they do is they'll come to you and say, "Would you like to do a Super Bowl, and which years?" And then what they do is negotiate an agreement. Remember, they know us, we know them, they know our capabilities, and they prefer working with the team they know, the devil they know. But we put in for 20, 25, 26, and 27. We won't get all three, but any of those 3 years. So we're excited once again. Since it was February 2nd, 2020. I mean, that was something, and it seemed like a long time ago, but it was perfect. There was not any. You always say, "Well, what went wrong?" Nothing. It was a great game. There was almost 150 million folks in 170 countries watched it.
Wow.
Watched it, and they have, and we had the economic study and all of that, and the numbers are the numbers. But for me, I like the priceless media coverage we get for a whole week. Remember, it's warm here and it's cold everywhere else. So it's and once again, a great game. And I think the halftime was pretty good too, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? J-Lo and Shakira. I couldn't get enough of them.
Yeah. So the point is, everything lined up, everything down to the halftime, down to a competitive game, down to a new stadium, Super Bowl Live, and a vibrant community. Obviously, 25 miles of beaches, art and culture, and our neighborhoods program. We have our multicultural program led by Vice President Connie Kennard, who reports to me, and we had into the neighborhood tours and reached out into the neighborhood. Business Connect program that we invented here 25 years ago, which was to benefit small African American largely and small women-owned businesses. And that program had a full-time staffer on it for months. And so once again, very successful in small businesses, African American, women-owned, and proudly that program was invented here and then replicated in every single other city as they go forward. So a lot
Bill,
of great.
I didn't know that, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because there was a lot of chatter in the community about like the impact.
There always is.
Here's the thing though, like, let's set the record straight if we can, because I know a lot of people who benefited from the Super Bowl. They got contracts, a lot of small, like you said, business, women-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, but there was I guess the inclusion of things in Miami Gardens or Liberty City. I know people just wanted to know like how that stuff happens.
Well,
like what was that
obviously in Miami Gardens, that's where the game is played.
Mm-hmm.
The game is played, and the city of Miami Gardens put it on an event, and the Greater Miami Convention of Bureau, our company, was an investor in that event. That was there for 5 days, working with Mayor Gilbert. We liked the city and liked what they were doing, and so. But once again, through our multicultural program, we had groups go into the neighborhoods. But this is what we do all the time. It's not just for the Super Bowl. So we've launched our multicultural, basically our heritage neighborhood program. We've actually gone in and we have a program where our company goes in and helps existing companies in those neighborhoods, whether it be Little Havana, Little Haiti, the West Grove, those neighborhoods, to develop the capacity, enhance the capacity to deal with the tourists that we're sending there. The concept was, we got the tourists and the Bureau sending them there, but the businesses aren't ready. So we said, you know what? We're not going to have somebody else do it. We'll do it. We're the only bureau that took that on, and we have partners with the Bayside Foundation, and we have graduation classes. We go to those, and these companies, they go through a whole process, training process. We've got some great success stories, and then they can get the business because they have the capacity. Thank you, Bureau. Thank you, Bureau.
Can you let us know the impact of the economic impact for Black businesses or businesses in the urban core from the Super Bowl? Like, do you have any numbers on that?
It's not that way. What I can get for you is what the Business Connect program number was. I don't know that it's in this big, thick, it's referred to. I can get that to you. So, or maybe come back on the show again.
You can do a part two.
Yeah, but get program or have a staffer who ran it full time talk about how they got the word out, because that's always, we didn't know. But this full-time staffer, his job was to make sure everybody knew to the extent you could.
I really like this conversation, and I know you're strapped for time. I know you're very busy, but I would love for you or people from the team to break down things, and especially for millennials and for the Black community that my audience is, and they want that information. Like getting into the weeds a little bit about like the impact, how people can be involved, your diversity initiative.
Connie Kennard looks like you. Fortunately, she doesn't look like me, so.
I love Connie. I love Connie.
Yeah. And we stole her from Nashville. We stole her.
Yes, you did. And and Dan Rios, another one of your team members. We did talk for LGBTQ. So
we love to bring them forward, and because they're as I say to the staff, I have the easiest job at the Bureau. I do stuff like they're boots on the ground, but I get out in the community. Yes. I used to work with model cities. I was a parks guy, and I'm a boots on the ground. So I know Brown Sub, I know Overtown. Oh yeah, I worked those neighborhoods with the parks. I was a park planner. Most of those parks there, I had a hand in. We've got a thing. Connie can talk about the Art of Black Miami. Have you heard of that?
Oh yes, I love them. I do a lot of coverage about sadly our Basel is not coming this year, but every year I try to.
But you know what we're doing? But au contraire. Oh. What we're doing, breaking news.
Give me some tea, Bill.
Huh? You got a little tea?
Give me some tea.
Yeah, no, during that first week in December, that's Art and Heritage Month, but we're going to dial up in that week. We're going to dial up and create and encourage art and culture during what would be the Basel time, because there's people are hungry.
Yes.
So we've got a team working on that. I think in Miami Today there was a story last week about that. So we've got a full team that Connie, John Copeland, Dan are working on an art and heritage for kickoff for December and January. So it's we're very excited about that, and we can delay. I know where to find you now, John May.
Well, I love it, Bill. I thank you for breaking down.
How did I do?
Good. Thank you for coming on. It's your first time, but I hope it won't be the last. Like I said, I'm so happy you took time to come on.
Next time I'll wear my sunglasses. Now we encourage everybody. This is serious.
This is true.
You got to mask up.
Mask it up. I don't have mine with me because we're socially distanced, so I don't. I'm by myself, but I have a shield too, Bill. I have a shield too. This is how we're doing our events now. We
believe in this, but I read about your career. You got a great future, and so this is the beginning of a great journey. John A., thank you very much.
Bill, how can people connect with you or the GMCVB?
Well, you can email me, Talbert at GMCVB.com. Talbert at GMCVB.com. I read it. I stay on it, or I'm on social media at Bill Talbert. I'm a social. I'm on basically Facebook and Twitter. I haven't, I'm not on others because I have a day job. I have a day job, but I'm a lot on social media. I'm the worst. I'm an amateur. I'm an expert amateur.
Okay. And what I'm gonna do before you leave, just I'm gonna put it on the screen just so people can get that while they're watching it. Um, and they'll be able to see. There you are, Talbert at gmcbb.com and at Bill Talbert on social media. So I'll have that scrolling for a little bit. And I also put it in the description box because that is true. You are very attainable. I had your email. I've emailed you before and you've gotten back to me. So I really
Well,
do
I see
appreciate
it forward. I mean, it's about staying connected, and I enjoy it. I'm I'm an expert amateur. I'm a dangerous person out on social media. Dangerous.
Well, thank you again, Bill. I appreciate this.
I mean,
Um,
thank you. And I didn't hear any sound in the background, so
oh, I
bravo.
appreciate that. There's construction going around, audience, but thank you for being with
Bravo.
us. Thank you for
Thank
watching
you.
another episode of High Low News. And Bill, again, thank you for coming on and breaking down the Super Bowl for us.